What's up, you guys? It's Brooke.
So for now, let's all enjoy this view. Yeah, we live.
And today I will be talking about something very exciting to me. So I will be telling you guys about how I wrote and published my own book at the age of 16. It's still like so crazy to me, and I'm still in shock that I haven't processed the fact that I've published a book and that makes me an author. So it's still it hasn't went through my mind yet, and I still find it insane, and I don't even think of myself like that. So I think it's crazy. First start off, I'm just going to announce that yes, I have published my own paperback book. It is available on Amazon for paperback purchase, and it's also available for Kindle. This is pretty new. I actually just announced this last week on April 27th. On April 27th, I just announced this, and I completed this April 11th. First of all, I'm just going to tell you what it's about. It's a collection of my poetry. I write poetry, and I've been writing poetry since 7th grade, so pretty much since I was 12 years old, I've been writing poetry. It's a mixture of poetry and kind of just deep quotes, you know, like the quotes you see on Instagram, stuff like that. So because I've been writing poetry for that long, I've always told myself that I wanted to turn it into a book. I said, when I'm graduated from college, I will write a book, and I will put all my poetry that I've written for all these years into that book. And because quarantine started, I was just getting so bored. I said, might as well do it right now. What better thing do I have to do? And that kind of got me motivated. So I've had all these poems written since 7th grade, and I've been writing them since. So it was in a journal, so I just pulled out the journal and I transferred it onto Google Docs, and I just wrote it all. So it's not like it was fresh, and it's not like I kind of just came up with it and wrote it all in one night. I've had the work done. It was just a matter of putting it together. So I was originally inspired by the queen herself, Ruby Kaur. I hope I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm not. I bought her first poetry book, Milk and Honey, when I was in 7th grade, and I fell in love with it the second I opened it, and I thought it was beautiful. And then I bought this actually last summer. I knew it came out, but I just never purchased it. And then I finally went to the bookstore and I bought this, and I love it. She is absolutely amazing, and she is just such an inspiration to me. Her words are so inspiring and so moving, and when I knew I wanted to write a book, that's exactly what I wanted it to look like. I thought of her and I said, that's what I want. And I am praying one day she will be able to read my words, and that would be a dream come true. So if you are familiar with her, that's kind of how my book looks. It's just, you know, it's not like an actual Harry Potter type book. It's not fiction or nonfiction. It's not a bibliography. It's a collection of my poems, as you can see. And on some pages there are little doodles that I did myself. So as I was saying, it kind of just I took my journal and I threw it onto Google Docs, and I just started writing. And I texted Esther, because she's known that I've always wanted to write a book. And I said, I'm starting this right now. And she was like, that's awesome, you know. So I told my mom, I said, will you help me find an editor/publisher if I told you I wanted to write a book? And she said, I have no idea how to do that, but I will do all the research and try and help you with that. And I said, great, thank you. I want to say this was about April 5th of this year. It motivated me so much, just the thought of oh my God, what if I can be a published author by the end of this year? Or what if I can be a published author by the end of my high school career? Keep in mind, I'm a junior right now. I'm going into my senior year, and I just thought that would be such an an amazing accomplishment. So that was my motivation, and I could not stop putting it together. After I put all my poems together, I realized I was like, I want more than this. So I started polling. This is hard to explain. I wasn't writing fresh poems because the poems that I pulled from my journal was when I experienced, you know, heartbreak, pain, depression, and just like hard topics like that. I forgot to mention that my book does cover some pretty heart-heavy, hard and deep concepts. So it does kind of stab you in the throat, especially, that's what my family kind of said, that they're like, it's hard to read knowing that you, being so young, has gone through stuff like this. When I realized that I wanted my book to be a little longer, I couldn't really just make up new I couldn't really just make up new poems, because all these poems were from the past when I used to feel these certain feelings. So I would just pull from my past poems and, you know, pull from the emotion that I was feeling and kind of say, okay, I can do something like this, but I was pulling from that poems. My idea was from that poem, if that makes sense. And then I would just redo it, kind of recreate it and redo a new one. So that's what I did to make my book a little longer and add a little more things. I first announced it, I posted it on my Finsta, and I said, guys, I'm finally writing my book. This is my dream come true. I'm finally writing it. I don't know when it's gonna be out, but I'm writing it. I'm in the process of writing it. And you know, all my friends were saying, oh my God, this is amazing. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you. And that was April 5th. The Google Doc that I was on was shared with Esther, so while I was writing it, she would pop in and kind of read it. She would snap me sending videos of herself bawling her eyes out because she was like, this is so sad. And I couldn't help but laugh. I know that sounds horrible. I couldn't help but laugh because I was thinking, I had no idea my words were this powerful. And it was a good feeling knowing that my words meant something. She was like, this is amazing. And she knew I was in the editing process. And she was just like, you know, I can't wait to see the outcome. And that was the same week of April 5th. And I told my dad about it, and he told me, he said, if you need help researching for an editor or a publisher, your grandpa would be an amazing source. So I texted my grandpa and I said, hey, so I explained the whole book to him, and I said, it would be great if you can help me kind of find a editor or publisher, because I have no idea where to start. So if you can help me look, that would be amazing. And he did. And he sent me this link. It's a kdp.amazon.com. And I will like put over a video and kind of explain the process. I watched the video on the website explaining how the whole process works. And it pretty much told me you upload your book, and it gets under review, and it will be published on Amazon in under a day. And I was like, that's insane. There's no way, there has to be a catch. This is a scam. Like, that's impossible that they would let the public upload their book for free and it would be published on Amazon and Kindle in under a day. It sounds like a complete joke, but that's what I did. I self-published it and I uploaded it using that website, and my book was uploaded on Amazon and on Kindle in about 2 days, and it was all for free, and it was amazing. And it was just crazy. So I told my grandpa, I said, thank you so much. I'll check the I'll check the website out. I'll let you know how it goes. So I checked out the website, and I loved it. I was like, this is amazing. You know, I don't have to go find an agent or publisher out in public and say, you know, can you do this for me? Instead, I had the power in my hands, and it was all under my control, and I could do it myself. That's what I did. I followed the link, and when I was done writing, they actually let me put together my own cover, and I just went with this. It is a matte gray, and the title is gray. And then my name at the bottom, and then it has a little picture of me on the back and a description, and then it has right here is kind of a summary or a description of kind of what you're about to encounter when you open and read my book. So it just explains everything, and I had so much fun working with it. And I uploaded it and I published it, and they said, your book is now under review. We will email you when it's done and it's published on Amazon and on Kindle. I said, great. So I went to bed on April 10th. It was either April 9th or April 10th. I went to bed. The next morning, I got an email saying it's now available on Kindle. So you can go purchase it on Kindle, and you can start your campaigns and advertising and stuff like that. And then the next day I got an email again saying it's now available on Amazon for purchase. You can now order your author copies or start your advertising and stuff like that. And I was like, this is insane. It was April 11th. I just didn't know what to think, right? Like, oh my God, it's published. So the second I got that email, I ordered my author copies. I ordered about 15. My plan was to give one book to each one of my family members, and one book to my boyfriend, and one book to Esther, and then one for myself. I still have about 4 or 5 extras. I knew that I wanted some extras just in case later on I said, oh yeah, like, you know, this is a gift or this is a present. So I know I wanted some extras, so I ordered extras on purpose. So after I ordered the author copies, I went over to my mom and I went onto Amazon. I grabbed her computer and I went onto Amazon and I typed in the name of my book and my name, and it popped up, and she's like, what are you buying? And I was like, nothing. And she's like, what is it? And she knew that I wanted to write a book. She just didn't know it was done. So I was like, oh, can you buy this for me? So I played that little trick and I showed her the computer, and she looked at it and she was like, what is this? And I was like, is that your book? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, and at first, like all mothers, she was worried about, you know, the copyright and stuff like that. She was worried about that stuff first, because she was like, how the heck did you do this so fast? So she was like, is it gonna get stolen? It's not gonna get stolen, right? It's copyrighted? Yeah, okay. And she was in shock at first, and then after she asked all the questions, she was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And she was so happy. She couldn't stop talking about it for the rest of the day. We would be in the middle of a conversation and she would stop and be like, I'm living with a published author. And it was just so funny. Later that day, I have the video of me showing it to my dad, so I'll put that in. And I did the same thing. I went on Amazon with his computer and I searched up the title and my name, and I said, oh, can you come look at this? And then like my mom, he knew I was writing a book. He just didn't know it was done. And, you know, he looked at it and he was like, oh, you can just watch the video yourself. Look at this.
What's that? Oh, you get to design your own?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you upload it?
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh.
No kidding.
It's already published.
Really?
Uh-huh.
How cool. How'd you do that?
But I announced it to my parents first, but I told myself and my parents, I said, I want to keep this a secret until my author copies come, and that's how I want to announce it. And that's what I did. So my author copies took about 2 weeks to get here. They came on April 27th, and I was so happy. I also have the video of me opening the box. I'm scared.
Let's see. Oh my God.
Wow. Touch it.
I have oil on my fingers.
It's so thin.
Wow. No one, that's the book. So,
It was early in the morning last Sunday. My mom, you know, I was sleeping and my mom started knocking on my door. She's like, they're here, come open them. And I was like, okay. And then after that, I put on a full face of makeup. I never do that. And my mom and I had a little photo shoot with the books. So we took some photos with the books. And then after that, I went to go buy some gift bags. And I put them in gift bags. And the rest of the day, I was making trips to my whole family and to my boyfriend and Esther's house. I will put in the clip of Esther's reaction. It's so funny because I caught her when she was taking a nap and she was so like, what's the word? She was so like, I want to say delusional, but it was the cutest thing ever. Oh, that's why you weren't responding.
Thank you.
Open it.
Okay. No. Seriously, going to How did it get here so fast?
I've been keeping it a secret for 2 weeks because it took like, they were like, it's gonna take this long to ship, so I kept my mouth shut.
But that was so fast.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't expect you to be done because I thought you were like, oh yeah, we're editing, and then I was like, okay, then we're all done.
I literally, when you were like reading it that week, I finished like that Friday, and then I like published it and everything, and then I ordered my author copies, and I've been waiting since then.
That's crazy.
So now I'm like driving around to all my family's houses and delivering it. I just delivered it to that's pretty much what I did. I can't give you any tips on like the writing itself because it didn't happen in one night. It was over all these years, and I grabbed it, put it together, and I put it in a book. What I can say though is if you want something and if you think you can do it and if you want it really bad, go do it, because I promise you, you can do it. So I hope the link kind of helps you understand how I went about my publishing process and my uploading process. But the writing itself, if you believe you're a good writer and if you believe, yeah, I can do something with this, then you probably can. And it, you know, now that I found this link, if I ever want to write another book, which I am planning to, it just makes it this simple for me, and I can go and upload it automatically. So I hope that gives you some insight, because that's pretty much my goal with this. Like, I want people to, first of all, with my book, I wanted to inspire and I wanted to help people, because I knew these are the topics nobody talks about but needs to be talked about. And I knew if I wrote a book about it, it would finally be talked about and people would know I'm not alone. So that was my goal with it. I wanted people to relate and know I'm not the only one dealing with this stuff. That's why I'm also posting it on here, so I can tell you, you know, if you are struggling or if you have struggled before, I am hoping that my words will help you, you know, push through those times. Writing these words helped me through those hard times, so I'm hoping reading those words will help you through your times. And I am just so happy to say that I have done this. And now that you have seen this, you know, if you're thinking about doing whatever with your life, I hope this is a sign to tell you you can do it, and go freaking do it, and go do it good. But other than that, I think that is it. If you have any questions, I'm so sorry. I feel like this video was so bad. I'm so sorry. I'm just like really happy to be talking about this and to be able to like upload this to YouTube. I'm sorry if that like made no sense whatsoever, or if it was just like mumbo jumbo coming out of my mouth and you thought the video was gonna be something else. I'm sorry, I'm just like really excited. But other than that, I will leave the link of my book in the description box below. And it would mean the world to me if you go and purchase it. And if you read it, I am just so happy to have my words be able to reach the whole world now. I will be doing that, and thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please comment down below. I am so happy to respond to any of them and to help you guys out, maybe with your journey, or, you know, if you're thinking about writing a book, I am happy to help you out. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. and I hope this made you interested, and you will now go click the link in the description box below. So thank you, and I will see you guys next time.